Woo! What's going on, guys? Orange Forum coming at you guys today with another video. Today's video, I'm going to be veering away from the NFL draft again, and I'm going to be talking about the situation that's going on right now in Motown, in Detroit Lions. Defensive tackle Jalen Carter is in the building, visiting with the Detroit Lions on one of his many visits that he's going to have. Well, he's only visiting apparently top 10 teams. He doesn't want to visit anybody outside the top 10. I don't know if this is his first visit or second visit. I've kind of heard a mixed bag on that this is his second visit. All I know is that he's in the building today. I don't care if it's his first or second. It doesn't matter to me. I just know he's here as of right now. He's visiting with the Lions, and he's got other visits to go to. I'm supposed to be visiting the Seahawks or something like that too coming up. But I haven't really talked about the situation with Jalen Carter much. I did a little bit, on some podcasts, talking on OPP with Micro Mike, Lions Nation with Micro Mike, a couple other podcasts too as well. Just kind of not really getting into the details of what I think about him or the situation. If you guys all know, Jalen Carter, defensive tackle, Georgia Bulldogs. And I did no writing for this, by the way, guys. If you ever want to know how I'm looking, always looking down, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at when I do all my homework. I do a first draft, and then I kind of put it on another notebook. So it's sloppy, but that's the way I do it. And but for this, I didn't do any type of writing. So this is kind of just coming from the hip. This is coming from the hip on what I kind of think about him in this situation. I never really got into it too much. I've like I said, briefly talked about it on some podcasts and videos, especially when I go solo. I've talked a little bit about it, but I haven't gotten into too much details. So you guys know who Jalen Carter is, defensive tackle. Georgia Bulldogs, one of the best defensive tackles in this draft, if not the best defensive tackle. I think he's the best defensive tackle in the draft. Run stuffer, can collapse the pocket. He doesn't have those crazy sack numbers or anything like that. But if you look at his overall tape, the pressures, the hurries, the hits, they're all there. The kid is a force on the field. And I'm not going to really talk about his draft profile. I'm not going to talk about what type of defensive tackle he is, but I'm just going to talk about the situation. He got himself in a little bit of trouble. Obviously, you guys know about this. A few months back, I believe, I want to say January. I don't remember what happened. I think it happened in January. He was drag racing. He was in another car. There was some other people in his car, some friends, a former teammate, another recruit that I think that played for Georgia back a little bit while back. And they ended up dying, tragic accident. He was in the other car. The guy died. Two people died. Horrible accident. He ended up leaving the scene of the crime. There was talks about that he's a bad guy for doing that. I think he was told to leave. He came back like an hour later, talked to the police, probably nervous as hell. I think he gave the cops misinformation. He lied to the cops. So on and so forth, man. Bottom line, the kid ended up getting a hefty fine and some probation. Okay, that's what he ended up getting. And that's what I kind of told people was going to happen. I was told that I didn't know what I was talking about, that he was going to go to jail. He's a bad guy. He's a POS. He's this, he's that. He's a bad teammate. Prior to all this kid was probably going to go top 2, top 3 easy. There was even talks about this kid going number 1 prior to all this stuff. There was nothing about how bad of a kid this kid was. All this happened, and it's a tragic accident. But all of a sudden, he was a bad teammate. He's lazy, terrible work ethic, doesn't care about football, only cares about himself, likes to party too much, blah, 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 this and that. All that comes out after the accident. Nothing prior to that accident was there any type of negativity towards this kid. Nobody ever said that he was a bad seed, that he had character issues. He didn't care about football. It was all, this kid is a can't miss prospect, the best defensive tackle prospect in years, so on and so forth. Now, I always said that the kid, if he doesn't go to jail, I think he should be a guy that they really target at 6. You guys all know that, well, most of you know that I'm a huge Will Anderson fan. I would love Will Anderson over him. Defensive tackle, I think, is a greater need, though, but I still love Will Anderson more. But Jalen Carter is my second option. He's my guaranteed my second option. And I knew he wouldn't go to jail for this because he didn't cause the accident. He didn't force anybody to drink. He didn't force anybody to get into a car. He didn't force anybody to drive fast. But he's got some, I'm not going to say character concerns. He's got some maturity issues. And that's the truth. He really does have, because apparently this has happened a couple of times where he's has a bad driving record for speeding. I've read that he's had a couple incidents prior to this tragic accident about speeding on campus, speeding in general. And he has a couple tickets. But driving fast, it's a crime, obviously, but it's not something I think is a character concern. It's more of a maturity issue to me. Anyways, and then it's sad that lives were lost. It's brutal, young lives, absolutely brutal, but he didn't cause the accident. He didn't make anybody do what they shouldn't have been doing. And he didn't force anybody into a car, all the above. His kid, and then he comes out on his pro day and he's getting dragged through the mud. He's getting dragged through the mud for his pro day, which, that's just the way it is, especially with social media, man. You're going to get everybody's opinion, just like I'm giving my opinion. He came in 9 pounds overweight, couldn't finish his drills, ended up, I think, walking out of the building, probably frustrated with himself, maybe frustrated in general, gassed out. You have to look at the situation. You have to go deeper into the situation, and you have to find out why. Okay, why did you come in 9 pounds overweight? Why did you couldn't finish your drills? What's up? Well, we kind of know what's up. This kid's been through, and I'm not saying, I want to make this clear, and I'm not saying that this kid is going through anything worse than what those 2 people that were killed, their families are going through. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying that this is heavily burdened probably on his mind, and probably the last thing this kid wanted to do was get into a gym. Some people grieve differently. Some people handle things differently. And some people go to the gym when they grieve. Kind of off topic, when I lost my mom back in August, I grieved differently, man. I shut down. I didn't go to the gym anymore, and I was going on a pretty good pace. Then I kind of I lost it a little bit. In the gym department. Now, then things happen, man. You grieve a little bit different. You shut down. You don't want to talk to nobody. This and that. I don't know Jalen Carter from Johnny. I don't know who he is. I don't know how he grieves, but maybe that's how he was grieving. He didn't want to be bothered going to the gym. He was just too down, depressed, however you want to look. But you need to find out about it. And this is why he's in the Detroit building, right? This is why he's in the Lions building right now. And if he's there at 6, I think he needs to be a Lion. All depends on what they feel about him. This is why they do their work. This is why they do their job. Guys like Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. They're gonna mentally, they're physically, they're gonna put this kid through the ringer. I don't know if they're gonna put him through any drills. I'm not sure they're gonna do that, but they're gonna see where the kid's at. They're gonna see where he's at, especially mentally. You really need to see where he is mentally, because physically, you can get him in the gym. He's gonna have to work out. He's gonna have to do those kind of things. But mentally, I think, is the most important thing right now for this kid. Like I said, this kid was a can't-miss prospect months ago. There was no talk about this kid being out of character. No talk about this kid being lazy. There was no talk about this kid having a terrible work ethic. No talk about this kid being a bad teammate, not caring about football. It was everything was, he checked the boxes off on everything. And then once something bad happens, the vultures come out. And that's true. That's the way it is in life. And football is no different. Football is no different. It's a part of life. It is part of life, man. And what happened is going to be with him for the rest of his life. People have to realize that he lost a friend, he lost a teammate, he lost another guy that he knew, obviously, and it's a tragic story. I don't think he should be dragged through the mud like everybody thinks, and then just the vultures come out, and they just come out, and you see the reports about how bad of a human being this guy is. Apparently, this guy used to buy lunch for guys that weren't on scholarship. It's a pretty good guy right there, I think, and it's all reported. Like you read it. I was told that teammates and coaches have came out on this guy and said that he was a bad person. I never read any of that. I don't know. I talked to one guy on social media. He was telling me how the bad reports came out about his ex-teammates and ex-coaches. I'm like, okay, can you show me a link? Like, show me a link where that happened, because I never read this. Like I never read that. I'm not saying you're a liar, but can you at least show me where I can find this? Copy and paste the link. Do something. Don't just tell me. Like, I do want to see it. I'm not calling you a liar, but sometimes you need to show proof. Like you need to push me in that direction where I can read that, and then I can say okay. But until then, it's not real. Because this kid was labeled a can't miss prospect. He falls to 6. Detroit needs to grab him. I want Anderson, but I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think Will Anderson's going to be there. So if Carter's there at 6, which I think there's a very good chance he could be, I think there's an exceptional chance he could be, I hope they get him. And it's one of our biggest needs on the team. It's by far one of our biggest needs on the team. So I just kind of wanted to put my 2 cents in about the kid. As a football player, he's fantastic. You see it on the field. I think he's better than Jordan Davis coming out. I thought Jordan Davis was very, very overrated as a player. I think JALEN is way better football player in general. I think he is. There's a lot of similarities to their game, but I think Carter being the smaller defensive tackle, obviously Jordan's more of a nose tackle that plays, is very limited in his snaps. Carter gets limited as well too, being a big nose tackle, defensive tackle, in the middle. But I think he's the better overall player than Jordan Davis. And I know a lot of people try to do the comparison game. I don't think their game is very comparable. There's some similarities there, obviously, but I think Carter's better athletically. He checks off all the boxes for me, anyways. And I just wanted to kind of throw my 2 cents in about the accident that happened. It was tragic. It was bad. Rest in peace to those 2 young men. Awful situation. Condolences to the family. Sucks. But I never really gave my 2 cents about it. And I just kind of wanted to throw in my 2 cents. This kid was a can't miss prospect prior to all this crap. Then all of a sudden, everything negative comes out about the kid. I want him in Detroit if Anderson isn't there. I don't think Anderson's going to be there. That's just a dream scenario, a pipe dream. And if Carter's there, I think he needs to be a Detroit Lion. He's in the building today, and Holmes and Campbell are going to evaluate him. You're going to see D-line coach in there. I can't remember who our D-line coach is, but Aaron Glenn. They're all going to be sitting in on. They're all going to be sitting in on this interview, and who knows what they're going to be telling him? Who knows what they're going to ask him? Who knows if they're going to put him through a workout? I doubt they're going to do that, but they need to see where the kid's at, man. And if Holmes takes him, there's going to be a lot of controversy on it from this fan base. We're 9-10 days away from the draft. I trust what Holmes does. Holmes isn't perfect. But, I'm still trusting him. And it's okay to criticize what Holmes does. That's a whole other video, though, man. That's just another problem I got into. But I'm looking forward to see what they think about this kid. Maybe it'll get leaked out. Who knows? If it's a good or bad interview, who knows? Who knows where this kid's at, though? But he should be an option at 6. That's all, guys. I appreciate you guys watching the video. I really do. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, get on my videos. Don't forget to like, comment this out, man. What do you guys think about Jalen Carter, man? If he's an option at 6, I think he should be in Detroit, especially, if they love him. And do you trust Brad Holmes? I do. Go Lions, one pride. Let's go, baby. Boom. Yeah. Woo!